Arts in Depth, a 1/2-hour televised program presented to you by the Cultural Council of Indian River County. I am Barbara Hoffman, Executive Director of the Cultural Council and your host for Arts in Depth. Thank you for watching. The idea of a community orchestra was conceived in 2007 and took form in the fall of 2008 with a mission to provide professional and semi-professional adult and student musicians in Indian River County and neighboring counties an opportunity to play classic, symphonic literature at a professional level, thus the Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra. My guest today is Tom Fritz, who is a violinist and a founder of the Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra, along with Paul and Linda Spywak. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Barbara.
The Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra is entering its 8th season and has been building quite a reputation. Please share with us the vision and the work that went into the creation of this wonderful organization. How was the mission developed? Who were some of the players?
As you mentioned, Paul and Linda Spywak. Paul is a clarinetist, professional clarinetist, taught for several years in New York, and then his wife is also a violinist, and she was a concertmaster of a number of orchestras up in the New York area, and they retired in Vero Beach, and we were all playing in the Treasure Coast Symphony. The Treasure Coast Symphony at the time was not playing complete literature, and they were playing a lot of arrangements, and it was a drive, and we thought, gosh, there are enough people in Indian River County that play. We have enough of our own talent. Why can't we have our own orchestra? Can't we do our thing where we can play a complete symphony, a complete literature, and enjoy some of the great, great classics here in Vero Beach? So we began, as you said, in 2007. We had a couple of false starts because, as you might imagine, back then, we didn't have an organization, so people didn't know to play. So we had to go knocking on doors, encouraging people to dust off their instrument, finding people who used to play in high school and said, yes, I used to play, and I think I'd like to play again. That took some time to encourage people that, in fact, they did have a gift, and they still had a gift, and it was like riding a bicycle. Get it out, practice, and let's play again.
Oh my gosh. So who were some of these people who were involved in some of your early musicians?
As we mentioned, Paul and the Spywak and myself were really the three main ones that came. We found we were very, very fortunate at the time to have a retired professional bassist come from New York. She studied at the Manhattan School, Lenore Peloso. She is just a phenomenal bass player, and she's been probably the solid backbone of the high school program, teaching the kids bass and cello. So she was our bassist. And then, of course, as you might imagine, finding wind players that would play with us. Sherry St. Petrie, who was the conductor of the band at Oslo Middle School, agreed to play French horn with us, even though that was her secondary instrument. Her husband agreed to play bassoon. And it was little by little we would find people who would play, and Lynn Anderson, who is now in California as a life coach, had her cello, and so we had one cello, one bass, one French horn, and a couple of violinists, and that's how we began.
Well, it sounds like it was a good time as well.
It was, and when you consider we've come from that dozen or less people to now over 50, a solid 50 in the orchestra. We've come a long way.
Well, let's talk more about that after a brief break.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare Supplement Team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
Freddie Wilfrick and Gregory Simpson invite you to Spotlight, Indian River, weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30.
You emphasize that this is a community orchestra. What makes it a community orchestra?
You caught me. I should have been prepared for that one. Community meaning Indian River County. Our hopes were that, as I said, when we first came here, the Spiewaks and the Fritzes, we were driving to Fort Pierce and we were doing our rehearsals at the Indian River State College. And we were traveling clear down to Martin County to do our concerts, and we thought community is Vero Beach. This is us, our own people, our own children. We had our children who were playing in the Treasure Coast Youth Symphony, and they were doing the same. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization. But our kids had to go, a half an hour or an hour away to perform. We said, there's no reason why Indian River County, Vero Beach, doesn't have enough of its own people and its own talent. We can have our own. So we made it community.
Okay, in the 8 seasons, the orchestra's program selection has been most robust. How are the selections for each season chosen?
We are blessed to have Colbert Page Howell, who is the associate band director at the high school, to be our conductor. He has a bachelor's degree in music and conducting and clarinet. He has a master's degree from LSU in conducting and clarinet. And he is a brilliant wind player and a brilliant conductor. He is our music director, and he really has a very, very fine sense of literature itself, literature that he would enjoy playing, literature that he thinks that the community would enjoy, literature that is not competitive with the Symphonic Association or Atlantic Classical, and also he knows the extent of what a community of semi-professionals, with professionals and students, can play. Also, he coordinates with Mr. Stott, who is the orchestra director for the high school.
Yes.
And the reason being is that the Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra does not want to own a library. So we make contributions to the school, which then purchases the music for us. We play the music and then we give the music to the school. So all of the music that we have played in the last 8 years, has been given to the Vero Beach High School Orchestra, and we've now made a contribution of over $10,000 worth of classical literature for the high school.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. How is the orchestra funded?
Well, donations from our own members, and also what we take as a donation at the door. Our concerts are free, and there's a reason for that. I think you intend to get to that, but our concerts are free, so the music can be both accessible and affordable to Indian River County residents. And any money that we have left over after the donations from our members and from the contributions at the door, we give scholarships to the students.
That is really
So we have no money.
Join the group. That's wonderful. You speak of music with using the word literature, and that's not for many of us associated necessarily with music. Explain the use of the word literature when you speak of musical selections.
I guess I use that term in terms of the entire volume of all music that's been written, and I consider that all music literature, and so it may be an incorrect term. It's one that I choose to use. But
I think it's a very interesting term, and I was interested in your definition of it.
Well, when I say complete literature, as I said, when we were in Treasure Coast, we would often play a movement of a symphony rather than an entire piece, or an arrangement of something that classical literature that had been arranged for an orchestra not quite so accomplished, and we wanted to play.
Well, let's continue this conversation after a short break.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
Join Marshall Littlejohn nightly at 5 and 9 on VeroBuzzTV.com.
The Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra has a very, very great upcoming season this year, and it's very impressive, and I'd like to have you tell us about this whole season.
Thank you. It's in 8 years we have managed to play music as far back as Bach and as far forward as the Impressionists that we're doing this season. We have 2 concerts this season. First is an all Mozart concert. We call it Mostly Mozart. Mozart has written a number of things, over 600 compositions, I think, in his short life, and we're going to do 2 of his overtures. One is the Abduction of Sir Reglio, and the second is the Magic Flute Overture. We're very fortunate to have our own Matt Stott, who's probably the finest violinist within 100 miles here, maybe even more. And he's going to be playing the Mozart Violin Concerto No. 3 in G major. And then we'll be ending that first concert with the Mozart Symphony No. 39. So it's going to be a fun concert. Then we're going to totally shift gears and go from the classical period to the Impressionists, doing something we're calling French Impressions. And although Franz Liszt was born in Hungary, he did move to Paris at age 12. And so the 3 pieces we are playing are all French pieces. We're doing Act 1 to the opera Faust by Gounod, Jean-Francois Gounod. Then we're playing Gabriel Fauré's Masque at Bergamasque. And then we're going to end the concert with Franz Liszt's Les Préludes. All 3 just absolutely magnificent, beautiful, wonderfully colorful. The harmonics, the orchestration give the French Impression music such wonderful color. I think it's going to be a marvelous season.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it's really going to be wonderful. You have such a diverse amount of material. I find that very interesting.
We've played Handel, Mozart, a lot of Mozart we played. We played all 7 of Beethoven's symphonies. We've done a couple of the Mendelssohn symphonies, and we've done music from Fauré, Prokofiev. We are so blessed to have been exposed to so much in such a short time. And I think we feel that we have made a significant gift to the kids, the students, in being able to provide them with literature of such great classics.
Well, it's a wonderful, wonderful tribute for this community to have such a great community orchestra. Appreciate that. Let's talk about who makes that music. The maestro, the conductor, the music director, the concert master. All of that goes together in addition to the musicians in making this wonderful music. Tell us a bit about the troupe.
The troops. Well, we have teachers. Kevin Wellmaker is a teacher of Vero Beach Elementary. We've got other teachers. As I said, Mr. Stott, Mr. Howell. Both of them are teachers, band teachers, orchestra teachers. We have retired teachers, private teachers. So these are people who love music, play for the love of music, and I think everyone comes on a regular basis and comes because they love the classics, they love the chance to play the classics. We love to present classics to other people. So it's just folks like you and me who have a love for music and want to share it with the community.
That is really, really wonderful. We're going to talk more about this and about who makes that beautiful music when we come back after this short break.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom, where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
Watch Chamber Buzz at 6 and 10 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays on VeroBuzzTV.com.
I'm here with Tom Fritz, who is one of the founders of the Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra. And we've been talking about all of those musicians and the concert master and the maestro and so forth who go to make the beautiful music that they provide. Tell us more about this. We call them the troops of that work on making this music possible for everyone in this community to hear.
Barbara, mentioned how blessed we are to have Page as our conductor. He is in the University of North Carolina Hall of Fame for what he's done there. Matt Stott, who's going to be our soloist at the first concert, he in 2010 was awarded the Outstanding Baylor Alumni and was brought back to Baylor to be honored for what he's done in Vero Beach with the orchestra here. 2011, he was called to go to Juilliard to study, and then he was also had taken his orchestra out to Kansas, and our own Vero Beach High School Orchestra was awarded, as you know, the #1 high school symphonic orchestra in the nation. He was then invited to bring his orchestra to the Kennedy Center, and also at the same time Lincoln Center. So we have two amazing musicians that are giving us direction and guidance as we go. We're also blessed to have Paul Becker, who's our concert master. He's been with the orchestra for 5 years, I think now, and actually longer than that, since almost since the beginning, because he was originally going to be our conductor and then decided he would rather play, and so he's been playing violin with us and stepped up to the plate to be concert master when Linda Spiewak retired. Paul has got an amazing background as in finance, and been extraordinarily successful, and has been involved in the Vail music community. So again, he brings a wonderful wealth of wisdom in terms of how to build a program that will be appropriate for our community.
And I know he loves the violin.
He does.
Yes. And where do you find your musicians? I mean, you mentioned that you have 50 musicians in the orchestra now?
I believe all except for a few right from Indian River County. We have, I know, a couple of violinists drive down. They also play in the Melbourne Symphony, and we have a violist that plays. We have a teacher who is in Fort Pierce, Linda Hopkins. And so, I mean, a few will drive across the county lines to be with us, but the majority of the people are right here in Indian River County.
Tell me, let's talk about funding again.
Okay.
How much does it cost to put on a concert, and how do you manage the funding of the?
Our expenses we are able to keep down to a minimum. We do have the cost of music, which is clearly the largest amount. It costs about $1,500 to get the music for a season. Then we have printing costs, which run a couple $100 each program, each time we have a program. We have to obviously pay for the venue to play at the Performing Arts Center. And if there is a little left over when all of that's done, we'll give our conductor a small stipend, and then we are hopeful that there's always a little bit left to give some sort of a scholarship to the kids. We love to be able to give scholarships to the students, and our intent is to not have a bankroll. Our intent is to be able to give to the community, and that's our funding.
That's really great. When we return after a short break, what I want to talk about is how can our audience become involved with the symphony orchestra? I mean, what can they do? You mentioned something about membership and so forth. So when we return, we're going to talk about that.
Thank you.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare supplement team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
Join us for an adventure weekdays at 4:30 and 8:30 on Buzz TV Network.
Tom, we'd like to tell our viewers about how they can become involved with the symphony orchestra, and you did mention something about members earlier. Tell us a bit about how we can become involved.
I know that as I look out there into the television audience, there are many of you that have got a violin, a viola, or a cello in the closet. You had it when you were in high school, or your daughter's played, or your son has played, and I know that you either have a desire or you played one time. And that's where our membership comes from. Those of you who are in our community who have played at one time, who love to play, and have a desire to play again. How did we get to where we are? We all had to dust it off and do the P word practice. practice a lot. But again, part of what we had hoped for was that this would be an opportunity for the people in our community to reach to a higher level of perfection, each of us. Whether you're a student, whether you're a semi-pro, or whether you're a professional, there's always something better you can do and a little bit higher you can reach. And so our hope was that by what we do here, that all of us could reach a higher level. So those of you who have got an instrument in the closet, dust it off, give us a call. You can contact us through our website, which is the VeroBeachChamberOrchestra.com, VeroBeachChamberOrchestra.com. There you can find out who the members are, if you might find somebody you know. You can find our rehearsal schedule, so you can see whether our rehearsals are compatible with your schedule. We rehearse on Thursday nights from 7 to 9. Our season starts in December for the strings only. Takes us a little longer to get started. And then in January, we pull the whole orchestra together for the concerts, which are in February and April.
Tom, your love of music shines through as you speak, as you just smile, and I can tell you enjoy it. Tell us a bit about Tom Fritz, your background, and how you came upon your love of music and your violin.
Probably through the family. My grandmother played the piano and the organ, and I loved listening to her play. My dad had a love for the violin. My great-great-grandfather actually had the first love for the violin, and he worked for one full year chopping and stacking wood for $1.25 a cord to earn a violin, and that's the violin that I grew up with. Took lessons all through high school and college. I began playing the piano in the 3rd grade. Took for 1 year and decided I really wanted to follow in my dad's and my granddad's and great-granddad's, and took up the violin and began playing then. Played in the high school orchestra, was concertmaster for several years. Music was my life in high school, and I majored in music, violin, and voice in college, and have loved it ever since. And indeed, that's been my passion since I've been back in Vero Beach and retired. When I realized there was no program in the high school and there was no program for adults, thought that that was a way we could give back to the community. It's just by.
You certainly have given the community a very big gift. I must tell you, though, that my father was a violinist, and he was a violin instructor at the McPhail School of Music in Minneapolis.
Oh.
And that's where I got a lot of my love for music and my love for the violin. Although I'm not a violinist, he would not allow me to play the violin, but I do play the piano and the organ. Okay. So we will be coming back with Tom in just a few minutes after this short break.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics, across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach. Watch Sebastian Plus at 7 and 11 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays on SebastianBuzzTV.com.
Tom, the Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra is a wonderful story of making a vision a reality, making a dream a reality. What is the vision you have for the orchestra in the next few years?
I think I would have to refer to our concertmaster, Paul Becker, who is constantly nudging me to say, what can we do to take it up a notch? So I would say, what is the vision? We've been blessed to play Haydn and Mozart and Beethoven, but if we want to do Wagner, if we want to do Tchaikovsky, if we want to do Brahms, we need more violin players, we need more wind players, we need tubas, we need trombones, we need more French horns. Is a constant sense of the larger the orchestra, obviously the more need we have for players in the community who are willing and want to play. We have said anybody who wants to play with us if they have the desire to play, if they have the commitment to practice so that they come prepared, and that they are welcome to play. We have one, I call her my poster child friend. I won't mention her name, but she came to us a few years back and said, my husband has given me a violin. He would like me to play, and I want to play. Can I play in the symphony? And I said, if you have the desire. She practiced, I would bet, every day, several hours a day. In the first concert, she played one number, the Bach Suite, and she sat in the audience for the second half of the concert. She was so determined that the next year she played the full concert. That takes a lot of work, but again, to take it up a notch, we need more people.
All right, so your biggest challenge really coming to meet your vision is to get more people.
Yes.
Where can our viewers learn about the program season and about purchasing tickets? Or you don't sell tickets?
No, our concerts are free. We accept donations, obviously, so we can buy music for if the community enjoys it enough and their donations are generous enough, then we're able to buy another set of music for the following year, and we'll have a season 9. So although the concerts are free, we do take donations. How can they find out? One of the best things they can do is go to the Cultural Council and look at what the website there says, look at the Cultural Council calendar, because we are members and you've been very generous to publish all of our information. We do have our own website, which, as I mentioned earlier, is VeroBeachChamberOrchestra.com, and we list both the program, our background, our members, our rehearsal schedule there, where they can find out what they need to do to be a member.
It's a very attractive website, by the way.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell our audience about the Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra? Anything else that comes to mind?
Yes, I would say how wonderful it is to have a place where we can have our own. And the thing I would ask of you all is to share the word of what we have here. It's different than Atlantic Classical or Indian River Symphonic. We don't want to compete with that. We just want to have a place for our own to be able to play and have fun. So please spread that word, and to your family, to your friends, to those who are in places that can be an audience. Clearly, it's always more fun to play with a full house than just 1 or 2 people. So spread the word, come to our concerts, and that's what I'd ask.
That's great information. Thank you, Tom Fritz, a founder and a violinist with the Vero Beach Chamber Orchestra, for talking with us today. And thank you, viewers, for watching Arts in Depth, presented by the Cultural Council of Indian River County.
And thank you, Barbara, and for all your support at the Cultural Council.
Thank you.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
Marcia.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler.
I'm Freddie Wolford.
I am Barbara Hoffman.
And I'm Gregory Simpson.
I'm here with Police Chief David Curry.
You're in good company on VeroBuzzTV.com, Vero Beach's local TV station on the internet.
I just love it.
Tell a friend.